Now I want to show you what is spline and how you can create a line in the Cinema 4D. Here in this group, when you click and hold it, you can see all lines here. All splines, we have it here. Okay, first is pen. When you click on it, you can draw. It's like exactly Photoshop or Illustrator. You can creating your line, and when you want finish your line, you can click on the escape, and you can press on the escape, and now we can see it's end of this line. Or you can create some text and click on the first point to finish this line. That's really cool. But I recommended you to always using this spline from this angle, front, top, or here. Always create here, because for example here you create this line, but when we change this, you can see the size, and for example here it have angle for this line that we don't need this angle. Okay, now I'm gonna delete this spline and I'm gonna do front. Now when we click and drag and okay, now press escape. Now here you can see is exactly creating the 90 degree front. Or for example in the right, you can create something like this in the right. Or for example from top, you can click and drag something here. It's much better than to create this spline in the perspective. Always using this 3 view, top, front, and right or left. Okay. And if you want change this, for example, if you want change right to left, just in the camera, you can select and change it to left or right. Or you can change this to front, back, top, bottom. You can click and change view, but for now right is good. That's really cool. Okay, just for now I'm gonna delete these items. When we click on this pen here, we have an option that name is type. Its default is bezier. Bezier, that means we can create the point like this with these curves, or you can create like linear. Okay, that means bezier. Bezier, we use bezier for these options, for linear and curves. But another thing is, for example, linear. When you click on this, as you can see, we can't curve our line. Just we can draw linear like this. And next is cubic. Cubic, when we click on this and select cubic, when we click, it's automatic add a curves for that, like this. And when we change this point, you can see it change previous line like this. And another is Akima. When we click on it, it's a little curves for that. I'm gonna delete this. And next is B spline. When we click, you can see it creates this line from this point. If you click that, you can change these curves. Very good. But I like it busier, because busier, I think it's much better than other options here. Busier because it's contain linear and other options here. Okay, very good. Next here is sketch. If you click on the sketch, it's like your handwriting. For example, type your sign, or for example a text. Here you can see that handwriting, and here we have some options. First is radius. If I delete this and again click on sketch, and if you increase radius, now we can see it change our drawing, because radius is too much. 0 is good. And stroke smoothing, if we drag and increase that, again sketch. Now when we type and when we write, we can see it's much smoother here. Very good. I'm gonna delete this. And next is Spline Smooth. What's that? With pen busier, I'm gonna to create some line like this. Now when we click on this Spline Smooth, and here checkbox and this smooth, here we can increase or decrease smooth our lines. For example 50 for now is good. And then now here when we change, you can see it's smoothing our lines, or we can use it here. And if we increase smooth here, now we can see it's smoothing so much. Okay, next is flatten. If you turn on this flatten checkbox, now we can see it change it to line. It's like a line. And if we drag it here, you can see it's like, and change this to one line. Okay, next is random. If you click on the random, it's change our line. It's random like this. And next is poll. If you click on this, you can see it's like liquify in the Photoshop. You can select and pull our line like this. Okay, next is sprawl. If you click on this, now it's rotate our lines, and if I change it to 100, you can see it rotates our line like this. That's really cool. And next is inflate. If you click on this, it's inflate our lines. And if you turn on project is useful when we have many points and we want connecting our lines. That's good. Okay. Now delete this spline. And next is Spline arc tool. When you select this and now click, you can see it's create this line like art. Now first you should adjust your arc and now click and hold it and drag it like this and create your lining. I will show you why we are using these lines. It's like circular or arc like this. Again, press escape. See our lines. That's really good. Again, I'm gonna delete this. Okay, now here we have some lines. First is arc. If you click on this, as we can see, it creates this arc line. And when we click on this here, we can see our properties. We can change it to sector or segment or ring. And here again, it's like objects. We have a radius, inner radius, and here we have a start angle, a start to end. And again here we can change rotation and others, for example circle. We can click on this and change this to ellipse, and if we turn off, it's automatic change this to circular, and for example ring, we can use ring, and again we can change radius. And other options is like arc, and or we can use helix. Okay, helix. If I gonna change this to zy and to xz, here is start radius. If we change this to here, we can see this line. We can something like this, or start angle we can change, and here we have more angle like this. Or for ending, you can change size for ending. And here is for radial bias, something like this, or using for high. And again, subdivision. You can create many cool things with these lines. Okay, delete this. And inside default is 6 sides. We can change and drag how much side we need. And next is rectangular. It's like circular is here we can add rounded, and star with a star. Here inner radius for a star, outer radius, or twist. Can twist our star and here we can change points. Next is text. Text is very useful. Here in the text, first you can type your text. I will teach you how you can convert your text and line from this 2D and how you can change it to 3D. Okay, for now just you should learn how you should type your text here. Just here you can type your text, and here we can see our text, and here we can change this font, and here align, and here is height, here is spacing, horizontal spacing, and if we have some lines here we can vertical spacing. I'm gonna to delete this. Next is vectorize. Vectorize is like this relief, just this is for 2D and for spline. If you click on this vectorizer and add a picture for that, now you can see it create lines from your picture. And again change width, and here you can change tolerance for your picture. If you need more details, you should decrease the numbers here. Okay, that's really good. And here is foresight. You can change diamond or kit, or here you can again change the size of them. Here is so if you click on this, you can change this to, for example, lemniscate, and change the size. Okay, others is like together, for example, is cogwheel. If you click on this, we can change the numbers, and if you change the number, you can see what's happening here. Very good. And formula, if you click on the formula, you can create a line from formula. For example, here in the X, you can see 100 multiplied T, or here you can see is use sinus. If you change the sinus to, for example, cosinus, you can see our line is changed. You can use formula for that. That's good. Now I'm gonna delete this formula. And flower, it's like a flower, and here we can change these petals, and here we can change this rotation. And next is profile. You can change it, for example, L shape, T shape, U shape. Again, you can change high, and here you can change something like this. Okay, now if we have some lines, for example, a circle and a rectangle. If I change this to here and select these two objects, now here we can see these items is turned on. If I click on this, I wanted to change it here. Okay, First is spline subtract. If you click on the spline subtract here, as you can see, the first item subtracted to the next item. Press Ctrl Z. Again, when I click that, you can see what's happening. Next is spline union. If I click on this, as we can see, delete inside of that and connect this line together and press Ctrl Z. Next is spline and. It's like just select here, just here between rectangle and circle. And here we have two options, spline OR and spline intersect. If you click on the spline OR, it's connect these two spline, but when we click this, when we change that, we haven't that a copy for this line, but press Ctrl Z. Now when we click that and click on the spline intersect, now as you can see, it creates another copy for these lines like this. Okay. In the next video, I will teach you how you can change and convert your spline to the 3D with these items. These items is very cool.